Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Friday, November 14, 2025. And in the news this afternoon, 2 cops killed in Waltham Park shooting identified. Authorities have identified 2 policemen shot and killed on Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew Thursday evening. The deceased are Charles Stewart of the Spanish Town Police and Jamari Gordon from Seatalk. It is understood that the cops were off duty at a business establishment on Waltham Park Road about 7:30 p.m. when there was a confrontation. The confrontation reportedly led to 2 men opening fire on the cops, hitting the lawmen before making their escape. The policemen were rushed to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police have launched a high-level probe into the incident. Trelawny community cut off after heavy rains. Residents of Wakefield district in Trelawny say they are almost trapped in the community following heavy rains this week that exacerbated the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Boy, it is rough on us because we are just trapped in here, no food. The little that they give to us, we share it with others already. Sharon Morris, a resident of Wakefield, told the news during a visit to the community on Thursday. The residents say recent rainfall has reflooded areas where the water had receded after Hurricane Melissa and made the areas where the water had lingered even worse. 3 entrances to the community are now impassable for most cars other than large vans, and those crossing the water are charging passengers fees between $1,000 and $1,500, more than 5 times the standard rate of a regular taxi. We can't go out, we can't go to Falmouth, we can't go to Montego Bay or Mushet, we can't go to Bunkers Hill because we are blocked in. The water has surrounded us. Fionn Ellis, who resides in the Logwood Valley community in Wakefield, said, "Some people chance it, but it is not safe," she explained. The news team accessed the community through a makeshift route, avoiding one of the deepest pools of water, but still had to traverse areas with significant flooding. Leonie Clark, who was sitting outside her home observing the water lapping at her gate, said the issue has been a long-standing one. "It has been an issue for a long time. The only time we don't have this problem is when the drain is properly cleaned," her son Rodwin explained. "There are ponds around this area and there's a drain on this side, but the drain where the water should be pushing out is higher than the road, so the water has no space to go down. There's a high bank on the other side where the water is supposed to channel through, so the water keeps rising and coming back on the road." For now, some residents use a makeshift bridge to traverse the different sections of the community, but that solution is not perfect as the roads ahead are still blocked. "We have the advantage because there's a store here," Rodwin said, pointing across a pool of water. "They have to take to the bush and do what they're doing before it gets dark." The young man added that there had been a consultation with residents to fix the issue last year. "It can be solved, they just have to work on it before it rains," he said. Now residents say their biggest concern is clean water. "Even if we don't get food supplies, we need water. We have young children home," Ellis explained. She said she was terrified of the possibility of one of the residents getting sick and needing urgent medical assistance. "My daughter comes out only once per day. I'm not even gonna talk about if we get sick. That's a different thinking, because if we get sick, we're dead. Even if we get a vehicle, most of them are not going through the water." Another resident, May Allen, interjected, "A helicopter have to go come for us." Allen said relief items had been brought to the community at least one time since the passage of the hurricane, and a Mark Trucker van was seen donating food items and water to the residents. There was also evidence of hot meals and care packages being brought into the vicinity by World Central Kitchen and the Jamaica Guandam Association respectively. However, up to the time the team left the area, those supplies had not made it into the Wakefield community. Manchester residents warned to stay out of rising flood waters. The Manchester Health Department is advising residents of the parish to avoid direct contact with the rising floodwaters in Content, Williamsfield in Manchester. It notes that the floodwaters pose a serious risk of contamination, and it is warning persons not to drink, taste, swim, or perform rituals in the water. It says that these floodwaters may contain harmful bacteria, sewage, and other pollutants. The floodwaters also pose a serious risk of vector-borne and waterborne diseases, including leptospirosis. Underground sewage systems may also have been compromised, which can lead to further contamination. The health department is urging residents who are still living in the area to prepare for emergency evacuation where necessary and to take immediate precautions to protect their health and safety. It says it is actively monitoring the situation, conducting field assessments, laboratory analysis, and providing the public with health education to minimize health risk. Residents are asked to stay informed through official channels and to report any symptoms of illnesses, particularly fever, chills, muscle aches, or jaundice, to the nearest health facility. Aunt of missing 12-year-old clings to hope. As Hurricane Melissa lashed western Jamaica last week, one tormenting question gripped Anne-Marie Thompson. How was her missing nephew Jaden Smith weathering the storm? Thompson is the primary caregiver of the missing 12-year-old who was last seen in Mandeville, Manchester on September 26. Since then, Thompson said the family has been living in limbo between fear and hope with no clear answers. The hurricane's arrival only deepened their anxiety. "I don't even know how he managed Melissa without us," she told the news. "At night, I wonder if he's cold, if he's getting wet, if he's hungry. Every time it rains, all that keeps going through my mind." Recently, Thompson said she dreamt that she was driving in the rain and saw Jaden stooping. "I called to my husband and we both jumped out of the car and grabbed him," she said. The dream, she said, reflected the emotional pressure the family has been facing as rumors and accusations swirled in the community. Thompson said the family has also faced hostility from members of the public. "We're still not over Jaden. The house is empty. Everybody is not the same from the 26th of September, said Thompson. Despite several checks with the police as recently as Monday, she said there have been no updates. Thompson said that the family simply wants a confirmation of Jaden's safety. "Even if it's a case that he doesn't want to come back here, we just want to know he's found and alive." Thompson said she has experienced a significant personal loss over the years, including 3 sisters. "When I visited my sister in the hospital, I knew she was gone before I could feel it. But inside of me, I'm not feeling that when it comes to Jaden," she said. Thompson said that she and Jaden, who is her twin brother's son, had a close bond. His birthday, November 23, is approaching, and the family had planned to take him out to celebrate. The weeks since his disappearance have taken a toll on her well-being. "I have panic attacks whenever I am to go anywhere. I'm scared to travel on the road. I'm scared of leaving my home," she said. But she clings to the belief that has carried her through the past weeks. "I still believe he is alive." Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.